In the next 5 minutes, we are going to learn how to use variables in Python. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Google W3 schools Python and I press enter. As soon as I press enter, you can see introduction to Python. I'm going to click on that specific URL, and as soon as I click on that, I can see the table of contents are appearing over here. I have to click on variables. So once I'm landed to this specific page, I'm going to open my Colab. So I just type colab.research.google.com, and now I'm going to create a new notebook. I just click on new notebook because this is related to variables. So I'm going to name this specific notebook as variables. I just removed untitled and I named this thing as variables. So number one thing which W3 school says that we can create variables just by providing a name and a value. So I'm going to create a new variable x equals to 55, for example, and y equals to, I can store a name like Pakistan into it. As soon as I do this, I just click on play. You can see that it automatically stores both of those values into x and y. If I wanted to add new code and which will actually print both of these variables, so I'm going to type print x, enter print y, and I'm going to run. You can see that it executed automatically. I'm going to execute this, and you can see it will print value of x and y. So this is the first thing which we learned from W3 school. Then we can store we can override value of a specific variable. So if I add a new code and I say that x, y, z equals to 100, and I say z equals to something cool, and if I print z now, what it should print, 100 or something cool. Because it is running in a linear fashion, you can override and change the type of the variable also. Earlier it was a numeric kind of a type, now it is a string kind of a type. So I'm going to execute this specific code snippet, and you can see it's printing something cool. So it has overwritten the 100 thing. Then we can also cast any variable. Casting means to change type of anything. So you have str, int, float, three kinds of casting available over here. So by default, when we add a new variable, so for example abc equals 100, it is a normal integer value, but I wanted to cast this specific thing to something else, so I can use this specific functions str, int and float. So for example def equals to, okay, def is the default word, so I'm going to use ghi as if I say str of 100. So instead of storing this thing 100 as a number, it will convert this thing to a string. So this is basically called casting. Similarly, if I create a new variable and I say integer and I can say 100, so it will actually convert this string into integer. So that is also possible. So integer and float. Similarly, what I can do is I can convert MNO equals to float and I can say 100. So it will convert that thing into 100, and if I click print MNO, it will print the MNO as a float. So let's see if this apostrophe works. You can see that it has automatically converted 100 to float. You can see the decimal places over here. So three things which we have learned till now, that we can create a variable, we can create a string, we can create integer variable, we can override a variable with other types, we can cast a variable. If you wanted to see the variable type, it's simple. You just click over here and if we can print type abc and I execute this statement, you can see that it is of class integer. So in this specific lecture we have learned how to create new variables, how to override variable, how to cast variable, and how to look at the type of the variable. Thank you so much.